Hey everybody, Patrick here again from Rocky Mountain Style. Today I have a cool video that I've been planning on making for quite a while, and that of course is an update on this Flint and Tinder flannel-lined wax trucker jacket. This jacket was my first purchase from Huckberry when I first discovered the website a little over 2 years ago. I was watching a lot of different menswear channels trying to figure out a new style for myself. I'd recently lost a bunch of weight, so none of my clothes in my closet really fit me anymore. I wanted to have a cohesive look going forward. So I decided on the rugged workwear, heritage wear, smart casual, business casual, sort of all that stuff sort of mashed together, but with a focus on being a little bit more rugged, but at the same time still very put together. So I was looking for a sort of fall winter jacket that could transition between both of the seasons. Saw this, looked at all the pictures, looked at all the reviews, and just sort of fell in love with it. So I bought the Field Tan, which is the sort of the flagship color, I guess you could say. And if I'm being honest, if I had to go back and do it all over again, I probably would have bought a slightly darker brown like the Havana or something like that, I think. But the pictures of the Patina were just too much to withstand. You know, the jacket looked so cool, and I thought, hey, if I can only get it to look half that cool, I think I'd be pretty thrilled. So in the rest of the video, it's going to be a lot of close-up shots, a lot of discussion about what to expect and what you can expect if you have a jacket with normal wear for 2 years. So if that's something that interests you, stick around and we'll get into it. Thanks. So before we get into patina or anything like that, I wanted to talk a little bit about just the physical condition of the jacket, how it's held up to the amount of wear I've put on it over the last 2+ years. So basically, the short story is it's held up really well. There haven't been any major issues at all. As you can see on some of these buttonholes, just because when you have buttonholes like this and you have, buttons like that sometimes don't fit very well when the jacket's new and you have to really force them through there, you're going to get a few loose threads. I mean, it's just going to happen. There's really no way around that on a jacket like this. Basically, though, that doesn't bother me at all. I think it makes the jacket look cooler, makes it look a little bit rugged. But in general, there's really nothing wrong with the jacket. No issues with any major stitches or seams popping. No rips, no tears, nothing of that ilk. So if you're worried about something that's going to last you, I think you could be, safe in the assumption that this is going to last you pretty much as long as you want it to last you. So the big question in everyone's mind is, how does this thing actually patina? So I don't want to disappoint anybody, but you're not going to get it to look like it looks in the marketing photos. I can't imagine that that was any sort of real wear. Now, if you worked on a ranch, if you wore this every day, that kind of thing, maybe you're going to get something like that. But I just can't see it. So you can kind of tell just from a far away look like this. There's not a lot evident, to be completely honest. It's pretty uniform in color from a distance. Most of the patina that has come in for my particular jacket has been on the sleeves. You can see there's a lot of dark bumps where the dirt, oils from your skin and stuff have attached to the jacket and made themselves a permanent part. So yeah, that's not shadowing. That's actual dark discoloration, which I think is pretty cool. So if you look at the other side, so this is the bottom side, that would be right here. If you look at the side that's on the top, that gets less dirt and oil because it just doesn't rub as much. So you can see there's really not as much there. It's more uniform in color. That same sort of patterning permeates up the sleeves, as you can see here. Lots of different sort of dark lines coming in there. Pretty cool overall. And then let's check out the other sleeve. It's pretty much the same story here. You've got that same darkening, from rubbing it on tables, from, your arms, things like that. Not as much on the back side. Also, I have the same sort of patterning near the bottom of the jacket. You can see a lot of dirt and other things there, causing some discoloration, some patina, which is pretty cool. And there are scratches and things like that. I had to pull some cords through some brush not too long ago, so that's what all those scratches are from. You can see on this side it's a little bit better, no scratches there. There is a small amount of patinaing in the pockets, as you'd expect, putting your hands in and out, but nothing too major. Looking at the back, there's really not a ton of patinaing on the back. It's pretty uniform, not a lot of creases or scratches, which I think makes a lot of sense, especially if you're sitting in a car wearing it for a long period of time, or sitting in a chair, things like that. So there's even less patinaing along the bottom of the back than there is along the front. So it's sort of basically just the wax wearing off, pretty much all over the place. Looking at the collar, there's not much patinaing either up on the collar, even though I do touch it. Every time I put the jacket on, I make sure it's nice and folded over. But all right, let's open it up here. Look at the inside. So if you look at the inside placket, not sure if that's the right term, but have a little bit of the same on the inside there, and that's basically from handling it with your hands. A little bit of the darkening going on. And if we look at this side over here, same thing. Dirt and oils adding a little bit of variation in color, which is pretty cool in my book. So if you have any questions on patina, anything specific, definitely let me know. But that's pretty much it for the patina, guys. Wearing it not every day for 2 years, you can expect it to look kind of like this. I'm excited for the fact that I can actually see some patina, and I'm excited to keep it going, for another 2 years, another 3 years, 5 years, whatever it happens to be. Yeah, I guess from this top-down shot, you can see a lot of that darkening there. So let's see if we can see it on the sleeves. Yeah, you can see it on the sleeves too from this angle. So, okay, that's it for the patina section. Another thing I wanted to test was how the wax held up for water resistance over 2 years of just normal wear. So on the left here, I have a brand new wool-lined wax trucker in field tan, and on the right I have my 2-year-old Flannel-Lined. Theoretically, they should be waxed similarly. The wool-lined is actually a little bit thicker canvas, so it ends up being a slightly different color, I think, even though they're both field tan. But I'm going to dump some water on both. I have not done this yet, so I have no idea what's going to happen. But I'm going to dump some water right here to the left of the pockets, and then I'll speed the video up, and we'll see how long it takes to soak into the old one versus how long it takes to soak into the new one, or if the wax is completely fine. So without further ado, here we go. All right, so both beat up pretty nicely. All right, so yeah, this will probably take some time. So to the speed up. All right, 2 minutes have passed. I'm going to go ahead and dry this off and see what it looks like. So on the wool-lined, it looks like nothing really soaked in on the wool-lined. It's a little damp. Yeah, and it's completely soaked. It's hard to tell coloration-wise, but yeah, it's completely soaked through here. You can feel it there. But over here, it's pretty much nothing. So, all right, so I guess that does, well, yeah, I guess you can sort of see there that it's soaked in, but not there. So as you'd expect, that does confirm that after 2 years, you're probably going to need a re-waxing, which that's a good segue. I will be re-waxing the Flannel-Lined wax trucker on the channel. My first re-waxing I've ever attempted. I'll be doing that in a couple of months. So if you're interested in that, please sub or put on those notifications, whatever people normally say if you don't want to miss that content. But yeah, there we go. To close the video out, I wanted to discuss sizing a little bit. So this is a medium. When I made the first series of videos on the channel, I had several people tell me they thought it was too small for me. It said it looked too small on my shoulders. I don't necessarily disagree that it might be slightly small, but for me personally, since I'm a little shorter, 5'8.5", I didn't want to have to get the sleeves tailored. I didn't want the silhouette, the way things were stitched together to be broken up at all. And so the sleeves on this are just about perfect. They're not too incredibly long. So I knew going up to a large, I'd have really long sleeves, and I just didn't want that. And furthermore, I'm not wearing this as something that I put over a sweater or anything like that. This is sort of my transition jacket, in the fall. And with this flannel liner wearing a t-shirt, this is all I need down into the 40s, right? So I really enjoy it for that. I wear it like I'm wearing it now with a white t-shirt, with other types of t-shirts. Uh, and it's done great for me. I don't think I would want a large. I like that it's a little bit more, cropped up here. It's not super long. I do have the wool lined in a large, which the wool lined I think is stitched slightly differently, and it has different sleeve lining, different interior lining, obviously. So the sizing is not exactly the same. But after having that in a large, which I'd put over a lot more heavier things, I definitely am glad I went with the medium here. So let me just button this up real quick so you can see exactly what the medium looks like on someone my size, 5'8.5", as of the filming of this video, 188 pounds. I was up into the 190s and I'm back down in the 180s, so that's a good thing. So here it is. I don't think it looks too small at all. I'm happy with the sizing. And I would encourage you guys too, if you're not worried about layering things over, the most thick stuff you have, go down a size. Wear it with a t-shirt, get a little more tailored look, and as it's stretched out and sort of molded to my body, it doesn't feel uncomfortable in any way on me. So it really is a comfy jacket. It really is a pretty good jacket. So now that we've discussed sizing, that's all for the video. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. Huckberry, of course, has this. If you're watching this the day this video releases, you have about 24 hours left to pick one of these up for 15% off. I'll put a link in the description below. And that's the one sale a year that you get for this jacket. So if you're thinking about picking one up and you want to save a little money, don't miss it. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.